Today, we're diving deep into the world of a man who's a veritable earthquake on 2 feet. We're talking about Francis the Predator Ngannou, a name that sends chills down the spine of heavyweights and even makes Dana White, the president of the UFC, question his decisions. Buckle up, it's going to be one hell of a ride. Francis Ngannou's story is one of true grit and relentless determination. Born into poverty in the small village of Bati, Cameroon, Ngannou had little to his name but a burning desire to make a better life for himself. His first introduction to the world of combat sports came through boxing, a sport he saw as his ticket out of poverty. However, life had a different plan for Ngannou. After moving to Paris with nothing but the clothes on his back and a dream in his heart, he discovered MMA, which was love at first sight. Training under the watchful eyes of coach Fernand Lopez, Ngannou honed his skills, transforming from a raw talent into a polished fighter. It wasn't long before the MMA world took notice. Before making his mark in the UFC, Ngannou put his skills to the test in various fighting promotions. One of his most notable pre-UFC fights was against Belal Tatahi within the French promotion 100% Fight. Ngannou's performance was akin to a runaway freight train, with his punches landing with such force that they could have turned concrete into dust. The fight ended with Tatahi being introduced to the canvas courtesy of a Ngannou devastating right hand. Then came his fight against Luke Ngeleka at SHC 10. Ngeleka, a man with a record of 5-1, was no pushover. But when he faced Ngannou, it looked more like a man trying to wrestle a grizzly bear. The fight ended with Ngeleka tapping out after a beautiful guillotine performed by Ngannou. It was another weapon in Ngannou's seemingly endless arsenal. Ngannou entered the UFC with 2 blacksmith hammers instead of arms. In 2018, Francis Ngannou registered the record for the most powerful punch in the world, equivalent to 96 horsepower. With his devastating strikes, he has overturned the UFC heavyweight rankings and the expectations of the bookmakers. When Francis Ngannou finally made his debut in the UFC, it was akin to unleashing a caged beast onto an unsuspecting world. His opponent was the 22-year-old Luis Enrique, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt carrying an impressive record of 8-1-1. Yet when the cage door closed and Enrique was left alone with Ngannou, the Brazilian appeared to be battling a zombie horde single-handedly.
Positioning of that, nice right hand by Ngannou.
Pushing forward, Enrique.
Heavy shots by Ngannou.
The Predator's punches descended upon Enrique like a relentless hailstorm.
Combination followed up.
But he's loading up.
The finishing blow, a spine-chilling uppercut, left no doubt about Ngannou's destructive arrival on the UFC scene.
A rock. Look at this left uppercut, and that's the end of the fight right there. He landed that one on the neck, actually.
You know, you don't see a lot of 4 to 5 piece combinations.
With this victory, Ngannou began his unstoppable rise in the UFC. The next opponent was Curtis Blaydes. After 2 rounds, had his face devastated by the insane blows of the Predator.
Big straight left and Blaydes' wobble. Custom landing a double leg off him. Worked well for him both in his UFC debut.
The doctor stopped the fight, giving Curtis the chance to survive the evening.
The doctor is stopping the fight, so that is going to do it.
It fared worse for Bojan Mihailovic, who faced Ngannou in his debut in July 2016. The boy bravely kept his distance from the scary man for a minute and a half.
But Ngannou is a dangerous.
Mihailovic's 10-fight win streak. He basically hasn't lost.
Before being overwhelmed by a series of well-placed blows. To save the prey from the Predator this time was the good referee Herb Dean. Next to face Ngannou was Anthony Hamilton, who was considered a better grappler. Despite a takedown attempt,
Big leg kick and a nicely timed shot for Hamilton.
Francis ended the match immediately with a Kimura after less than 2 minutes.
Ngannou, man, this guy is super strong. Look at this.
He has it. He got it. Whoa!
In January 2017, Ngannou crossed paths with former UFC heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski, a fighter with a lot of experience and many important victories.
Career in MMA.
Slipping off. Down! Early knockdown for Arlovski. He's got it! Andre!
But this fight, too, was destined to end soon. After some timid attacks by Arlovski,
Ngannou wants to...
Ngannou met his opponent with a powerful hook.
He fires, just misses. Ngannou comes over the top of the left and boom.
And finished him with sledgehammer shots on the canvas.
This man is scary.
But it was the bout with Alistair Overeem that truly thrust Ngannou into the spotlight. Overeem, an experienced warrior and former K1, Dream, and Strikeforce heavyweight champion, entered the octagon with 43 victories and 15 losses. But in the face of Ngannou's fury, Overeem seemed like an overmatched novice.
Very interesting. Alistair with the clinch. Tremendously strong.
The Predator toyed with him,
Not a lot of people burning up.
ending the contest with a devastating left hook that could have decapitated a lesser being.
But I always...
The sensational victory underscored Ngannou's standing as a genuine title contender. Ngannou's journey then led him to the, up until then, ultimate test of his UFC career, a face-off with the legendary Stipe Miocic. Miocic, a highly decorated fighter with 20 wins and 3 losses, had successfully defended his heavyweight title multiple times. Their bout was a clash of titans. Miocic, however, was an opponent unlike any other Ngannou had faced.
Right now against Ngannou. He's got to keep moving.
Oh, he got tagged.
And uppercuts and knee.
He was a champion who had won the hearts of fight fans worldwide with his never-say-die attitude and unwavering spirit.
Very smart. Let's see if he can go. You got to stay on those singles.
Ngannou pushing down on the head, looking for big bombs.
When Ngannou's fist came crashing down, Miocic stood firm, weathering the storm.
Got to continue to make himself hard to hit in this first round. Stipe is a quick ducking. Beautiful.
Ngannou's onslaught on many UFC stars in the past has forced fans to question if there was a force on earth capable of halting the Predator's rampage.
But right now he's not recovering. There was a right hand over the top by Ngannou, though.
Man said he's looking for it. That was a sorry.
But the fight stretched on and Miocic relentlessly attacked Ngannou, who didn't know how to resist Miocic's world-class ground and pound.
This is a very tiring position for Francis.
Stipe Miocic won unanimously and was the clear winner in their bout.
He's going to let you explode and get out. He's going to...
Heavyweight champion of the world!
It was a significant setback in Ngannou's meteoric rise. The Predator has been brought down, literally and figuratively, and many wondered if this would be the turning point in his career. However, Ngannou's response to the loss was a sign of things to come. Rather than succumbing to disappointment, he used the defeat as a learning opportunity. Ngannou worked tirelessly to refine his techniques, sharpen his skills, and enhance his stamina, proving that a true warrior is not defined by a single defeat, but by his ability to rise again. After the whirlwind encounter with Miocic, Ngannou found himself across the octagon from Derek Lewis. The bout, rather than an electrifying clash of powerhouses, turned into a tedious game of cat and mouse.
Hearts, I kind of can't blame him. Time since that championship setback against Stipe back in January.
The two behemoths, renowned for their knockout prowess, spent the match cautiously circling each other.
Picking it up, but he's trying to...
In stark contrast to their destructive potential, the fight was widely condemned as a snooze fest.
We might be looking at the most boring heavyweight decision of all time.
But even the fiercest predators have their off days, don't they? The rematch with Curtis Blades presented a starkly different picture. It was as though Ngannou had decided to reassert his fearsome reputation.
Again, another power puncher, a very intelligent.
The bout was brought into an abrupt end early in the first round.
So look, Ngannou's powering in. Oh, this is bad news. That's it.
Leaving Blades dazed,
Top, right in the side of the head.
likely wondering about the freight train that had just hit him.
All I need to do
Over the top with the right hand.
Ngannou's encounter with Junior Dos Santos, a revered former UFC heavyweight champion with a record of 21 wins and 5 losses, proved to be another career highlight. Ngannou demonstrated his devastating power once again, toppling Dos Santos in the first round. This stellar performance earned Ngannou yet another Performance of the Night award.
Absolutely sensational.
The highly anticipated match with Jair Zinho Rozenstruik turned out to be a fleeting spectacle. A mere 20 seconds into the first round, Rozenstruik found himself tasting the canvas, brought down by Ngannou's powerful fists. The rematch against Miocic for the UFC Heavyweight Championship marked a crucial turning point in Ngannou's career. This time, Ngannou was prepared. He had learned from his previous loss and had honed his skills to an unparalleled level.
Oh! Deep evolution as a fighter.
The spectacle of Ngannou's power left spectators in awe, questioning if any terrestrial force could withstand his punches.
Oh! Stipe took that though. Oh, look at this.
Big ground strikes here.
Stipe's
Stipe ain't one of those
in real
clean.
trouble.
Ngannou emerged as the victor in the second round,
And leave these big openings.
Oh,
Stunned.
knockdown for
Stunned.
Ngannou.
signifying that the Predator had evolved into an even more formidable force. Channeling his raw power, Ngannou pummeled Miocic with a punch potent enough to topple skyscrapers.
Who is knocked down and out? Francis and
This fight and came back brilliantly in the second fight. He
That was
dropped him with a
nasty.
jab.
That
Step.
A star was born that night in the octagon.
Boom. Joe. That was the worst.
However, the ultimate test of Ngannou's resilience came in the form of a bout against Ciryl Gane, the interim UFC heavyweight champion. Despite nursing a knee injury incurred just weeks before the fight, Ngannou emerged victorious,
Just power slam.
marking the first decision win of his career.
Francis takes the center. Oh, wow. Right away shot by...
The Predator had not only defended his territory, but had also demonstrated an ability to adapt and survive under the most challenging circumstances.
Lay on his back. Today opposed to the guy in 2018. But I mean, Francis spent the last 2.5 minutes on top.
Yes.
And just like that, the world witnessed the rise of a new undisputed heavyweight champion, leaving Dana White to grapple with the formidable force he had helped create.
Champion of the world.
But the real twist in Ngannou's career surfaced when he chose to defy the UFC's Dana White. The Predator repeatedly asked to fight for the heavyweight title.
I've been waiting that fight for so long. It's supposed to be John Jones, and that never happened. I don't know why.
But the UFC refused to arrange a match with John Jones.
Never going to happen. We tried to make that fight with him for 3 years. Francis doesn't want the fight. You can't make him fight.
Ngannou had been vocal about feeling misused, mistreated, and inadequately paid by the UFC. He even said that some of his sponsors paid him a lot more than what the UFC paid him for risking his health in the octagon.
Francis, are you getting more money from sponsorships than fights right now?
Yeah, they pay you whatever they want to pay you.
Ultimately, he prioritized his personal freedom and walked away from the UFC, sending shockwaves through the MMA world. Yet, a Predator must always seek out new hunting grounds. For Ngannou, this led him to the Professional Fighters League, or PFL, where he signed to continue his reign of terror. And there you have it, the tale of Francis Ngannou, not just a man, but a force of nature. Francis Ngannou's journey is proof of the unbeatable spirit of the human will. From the dusty streets of Bati to the bright lights of UFC, Ngannou's fists have written a story of power, perseverance, and defiance. Fans salivated at the sight of Ngannou staring down legends such as Tyson Fury and John Jones. One can only imagine the pay-per-views those fights would sell. The world will wait, eager for news of Ngannou's next bout, and so will we.
Matchup with Ngannou.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We bring you the best fight stories, hot takes, and in-depth analysis in the world of MMA. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for notifications because the fight world never sleeps, and neither do we. So until next time, keep your gloves up and your chin down.